Welcome to week number 62 or 63. I'm not really sure of Scott's Week Sports today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back once again all by myself again this week. I promise you next week my dad will be back. Our schedule's just been a little bit off the last couple of weeks. With my mom leaving tomorrow to go see my sister up in Virginia. So I will be going right into the picks right now for the NFL and college football this week. So the first game out in the top 25 this weekend will be tomorrow, Friday night. As number 23 now in the top 25 ranking, South Florida, who just got into the top 25 this week, head into Tulsa, Oklahoma to take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. I will take South Florida. South Florida's got a very good team this year. Once again, a very solid team. They're not winning pretty, but they're winning games. So I will take the South Florida Bulls, unfortunately, to get a win here over Tulsa on Saturday and improve to 6-0 on the season. Now into the Saturday slate of games. First game out is the Minnesota Golden Gophers coming in at 3-2, heading in to the Horseshoe to take on Urban Meyer and his Ohio State Buckeyes. Give me Dwayne Haskins and Ohio State to win this game. Ohio State's been playing unbelievable football all season long. There should be no problems here for Ohio State. I'll take the Buckeyes to get a win here over the Gophers on Saturday. Next up, another new game as number 14 now ranked in the nation, the Florida Gators coming in after a huge win last week against LSU. Offense looked better this last week against LSU than it did against Mississippi State the week before. But now we head into Vanderbilt to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores. I will take Florida to win again. Finally gets to bowl eligibility for another season. Last year we should have been bowl eligible last year. We just weren't ready last year to play. This year I think we're ready. Florida beats Vanderbilt again. It's not. A lot of people were saying that this game's going to get ugly. I don't think so. Vanderbilt always plays us tough. So I'm going to take Florida in a close one to get past a very okay Vandy team. Next up, the Volunteers of Tennessee, still looking for that first SEC win since 2016 as they head into Auburn, Alabama to take on Dustin Alton and his Auburn Tigers coming off of a loss last week to Mississippi State. I will take Auburn to win the game over Tennessee this week. Auburn looked very good last week against Mississippi State in the loss. I will take the Auburn Tigers to get a win at home over a very, very bad Tennessee Volunteers team. Next up at 2:30 on NBC, it will be Pitt and Notre Dame. Give me the Irish. I feel like the Irish have had a better season as the year goes on. They've been very impressive. And I see Notre Dame as a playoff team this year. I don't think Notre Dame's going to lose a game with this schedule that they have. I could see them losing to USC. I could see them losing possibly to Stanford, who they already beat, actually. So not that one. I could see them losing to USC. Florida State, I don't think so. Notre Dame wins this one by about 3 touchdowns over Pitt on Saturday. Next up, one of the bigger games of the weekend is number 2 Georgia heads into Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium to take on the number 13 ranked and once lost LSU Tigers. I will take Georgia on the road. Georgia's not been looking as impressive as they were last year with Jake Fromm. But I feel like Georgia's got a very good defense, a very good run game. So I'll take Georgia to find a way to get a win in Baton Rouge on Saturday, but I wouldn't be shocked to see LSU pull it off. I will take the Dogs on the road to get a win over LSU on Saturday. Next up, another 3:30 game, one of the best games of the weekend, as number 7 Washington heads into Eugene to take on number 17 ranked Oregon. I will take Washington in this game. I feel like Myles Gaskin and Jake Browning are going to be too much for the Oregon defense to handle this week, so I will take the Huskies to find a way to walk out of Eugene and get a win and improve their record to 6-1 when they haven't lost since week 1 when they lost to Auburn back in week 1. And I was watching that game at my uncle's house, and that was a pretty interesting game. So I will take Washington to get a win there over Oregon on Saturday. Next up, another 3:30 game. There are a lot of 3:30 games this week in the top 25. As Michigan State heads into Happy Valley and Beaver Stadium to take on Penn State. I will take James Franklin and his Penn State Nittany Lions to get a win here. They can't lose another game if they want to make the college football playoff. Every game from now until the end of the year is a must-win for Penn State. They're 2 games back right now in the division behind Ohio State. So I will take Penn State to get a win over the Spartans on Saturday in a very good matchup. Next up, another 3:30 game is Baylor heads into Austin to take on the biggest jump in the rankings this week as Texas comes in number 9 ranked in the nation. Texas had a big win over Oklahoma last week. Last second field goal to win over Oklahoma last week. I will take the Texas Longhorns to pull off the win here. Texas has a very good team. Quarterback play's gotten better. Defense is still looking a little shaky, but still okay. Probably pretty good for Big 12 standards. So I'll take Texas to get the win here over Baylor on Saturday in Austin. Next up, probably a game that nobody's talking about right now, but it could be a very interesting game as number 10 Central Florida heads into Memphis and the Liberty Bowl to take on the Memphis Tigers. UCF favored by 3.5 as the line stands right now. I will take UCF to cover the spread and win this game. Whenever you see a spread of under a touchdown with UCF, you take the points. UCF has been looking incredible on offense. Defense still needs a little bit of work, but we looked good last week on defense against SMU, and Randy Shane's finally starting to figure out what to do with this defense like he did at Florida last year. So I'll take UCF to pull off the win here over Memphis on Saturday, and I'm telling you, we will be 9-0 by the time we get to Cincinnati. I think we will be 9-0 going into that game because our schedule after this does not look that hard. We got a couple of easy games until we get to Cincinnati. We'll possibly Navy, but I don't see Navy being that good. So I think UCF to pull it off in a close one against Memphis on Saturday. Next up, Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher's Aggies head in number 22 ranked in the nation. Going against Will Muschamp and his South Carolina Gamecocks. I will take Jimbo Fisher and his A&M Aggies to get a win here. Texas A&M is looking very good this year. Jake Bentley will play this week for South Carolina, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's probably the best player they have besides Deebo Samuel, who is one of the best receivers in the SEC. But I'll take Texas A&M with a better team to pull it off in Columbia on Saturday and pull off the win over the Gamecocks on Saturday. Next up, the Kingdom of Drew Lock and his Missouri Tigers head into Tuscaloosa to take on Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. I will take Alabama to get a win here. Alabama looks unbelievable this year. Tua looks great. Jalen Hurts hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, but he's still good. So I'll take Alabama to get a win here over Missouri. Probably one of the worst teams in the SEC. I'll take the Tide to get another home win in Tuscaloosa on Saturday over Missouri. Next up, number 6 ranked West Virginia heading in to Ames, Iowa to take on the Iowa State Cyclones. As I've been talking to Oklahoma fans, they say this is one of the toughest places to play in the entire nation in Ames, Iowa, but that's because you guys lost there last year. So I'll take the Mountaineers and Will Grier to get a win here. Will Grier's been playing great football all season. Probably one of the front runners to win the Heisman Trophy this year, in my opinion. I will take Will Grier and West Virginia to get another win and possibly keep those college football playoff hopes alive for the Big 12. I'll take West Virginia on the road in Ames to get a win over the Cyclones on Saturday. Next up, number 16 ranked Miami heading in to Charlottesville, Virginia to take on the Cavaliers. I will take the Hurricanes of Miami to get the win here. Rozier has been looking better since that loss to LSU earlier on in the year, so I will take Malik Rozier and the Miami Hurricanes to get a win here over the Cavaliers on Saturday. So give me the Canes to pull off a win over the Virginia Cavaliers on Saturday in Charlottesville. Next up, it will be number 19 ranked Colorado, who I thought was overrated. We'll see this week as they head in to the Coliseum to take on the USC Trojans. 10:30 kickoff this weekend for that game. I will take the Buffs. The Buffs have been looking very impressive all year long. A team that I've not been a fan of all season. I said last week that they pulled off the win against Arizona State last week, then I would start picking them. So I'll take the Buffs to get a win here over the Trojans on Saturday. but I could very well see USC pulling off the upset. But I will take the Buffs to get the win on Saturday at USC. Now for the game of the week, College Game Day is going to be there Saturday morning. The temperature will be 51 degrees at kickoff between number 15 Wisconsin heading into the Big House to take on Jim Harbaugh and his number 12 ranked Michigan Wolverines. I will take Michigan. Michigan's been playing much, much better since I lost to Notre Dame earlier in the year. And if they stay focused, I feel like Michigan should win this game. Don't focus on next week against Michigan State for the Axe, but I'll take the Wolverines to get a winner over the Badgers on Saturday. It could be a great game, but I'll take Michigan to get a win over the Badgers on Saturday. Now into the NFL games for the weekend. Starting off tomorrow night in New York, a battle of the NFC East, two NFC East teams, as the 2-3 surprisingly Philadelphia Eagles head in to take on the 1-4 New York Giants. I think the Eagles get their first road win of the year this week. They're 0-2 on the road to start the year. But I feel like Carson Wentz and this Eagles team will do just enough this week to pull off a win in New York on Thursday night against the G-Men. So give me the Eagles on the road to get a win over the Giants on Thursday night. Now into the Sunday slate of games as Jameis Winston and the 2-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers head in to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome to take on Matty Ice and the Atlanta Falcons. This is a must-win for the Falcons coming in at 1-4, and I'm going to take the Falcons, unfortunately. Our defense is not good. This could be a high-scoring game. It's all about what quarterback you have more trust in. And for me, I have more faith in Matt Ryan than I do in Jameis Winston. So I will take the Falcons, unfortunately, to get a win in Atlanta on Sunday and pull off the upset against the Buccaneers. Next up, the 2-2 Pittsburgh Steelers heading into Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium to take on the 4-1 Cincinnati Bengals. I will take the Steelers to pull off the upset here. The Steelers have been playing much better since that win on Monday night a couple weeks back against Tampa. So I will take the Steelers to pull off the upset and get back on track and possibly win the AFC North. So I'll take the Steelers to pull off the win on Sunday afternoon against the Bengals. Next up, the 3-2 San Diego Superchargers. The Los Angeles Chargers actually heading in to Cleveland to take on the 2-2-1 and 2-1 at home Cleveland Browns. They have not lost at home all season, and I feel like they keep it going right here. I will take the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield, probably the rookie of the year so far in the NFL on the offensive side of the ball. Unless you call Patrick Mahomes a rookie this year, which I don't. He played a game last year in Week 17, but if you want to call him a rookie, he's the rookie of the year. But I'll take the Brownies to get a home win on Sunday against the Chargers. Baker Mayfield's stock continues to rise this week as they win over the Chargers. Next up, the London game. Actually, a late start for a London game this week is the Seattle Seahawks head in to Wembley to take on the Oakland Raiders. I will take the Griffin Twins and Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks to get the win here on Sunday. 1 o'clock starts a little late for a normal London game. It usually starts at around 11 a.m. So I will take the Seahawks to get the win here over the Oakland Raiders and send John Gruden to 1-5 on the year with his Raiders. Next up, another 1 o'clock game is Mitchell Trubisky and his Chicago Bears. Coming in with a 3-1 record on the season, head into Hard Rock Stadium to take on Ryan Tannehill and his Miami Dolphins. I think the Bears get another win here. The Bears have been playing very well all season. That defense is explosive. Khalil Mack's still playing great. John Gruden's probably hating himself for trading Khalil Mack to Chicago. So I will take the Bears to get another win and improve to 4-1 on the season, leading the NFC North. I will take the Bears to get a win here over the Dolphins on Sunday. Next up, another 1 o'clock game is the Arizona Cardinals heading to the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis to take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I will take the Vikings at home. The Cardinals should enjoy that win they got last week. It will probably be one of their last of the season. I could see them winning one more game against the Niners. this season, but I'll take the Minnesota Vikings to get a win here at home in Minneapolis. I will take Kirk Cousins and the Vikings to get a win here over the Cardinals on Sunday. Next up, another 1 o'clock game is the Indianapolis Colts head in to MetLife Stadium to take on Sam Darnold and the New York Jets. I'm going to take the Jets in this game. Sam Darnold's been playing very well. A little bit of a rocky start for Darnold, but I feel like he's going to get it together at some point. I will take the New York Jets to get a win here on Sunday against Andrew Luck and the Colts. So give me the home Jets to get a win here over the Colts on Sunday. Next up, the Carolina Panthers coming in at 3-1 after that amazing kick last week, 65 yards from Graham Gano to win the game last week against the Giants as they head in to Landover, Maryland and FedEx Field to take on the Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins. I will take the Carolina Panthers on the road. Cam Newton's been playing unbelievable this year. Christian McCaffrey's playing well. They don't have a lot of good receivers, but it doesn't really matter when you have Cam and McCaffrey in the backfield. So I'll take the Panthers to get a home road win over the Redskins on Sunday. Next up, the final 1 o'clock game of the weekend as the Buffalo Bills head into NRG Stadium to take on the team on a two-game win streak. That is Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I make it 3 in a row this week. I'll take the Texans to get another win and get a win over Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I will take the Texans and Deshaun Watson to get a win on Sunday over the Bills in Houston. Next up, the 4 o'clock games is the undefeated 5-0 Jared Goff and his LA Rams head into Denver and Mile High to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. I will take the Los Angeles Rams on the road. The Rams have been playing great football all season. The defense looks good. Offense is looking great. I'll take the Rams on the road to get a win over the Broncos on Sunday. Should be an excellent matchup. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off an embarrassing loss last week to the Kansas City Chiefs as they head into Dallas and Jerry's World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. I will take the Jaguars on the road. I feel like the Jags have a better defense, but I kind of have more faith in Prescott right now than I do in Blake Bortles. But I'm still going to take the Jags on the road. They'll find a way to get a win in Dallas on Sunday. Next up, the Tennessee Titans hosting the Baltimore Ravens at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. I'm going to take the home Titans. Marcus Mariota and the Titans coming off a tough loss last week to the Buffalo Bills. But I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans to pull off the win here against the Ravens on Sunday. Give me Mariota and the Titans to get a win here over Flacco and the Ravens. Now on to Sunday Night Football as Patrick Mahomes and his Kansas City Chiefs head into Gillette Stadium and Foxborough, Massachusetts to take on Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Just to piss off my best friend Riley Carey, I will take the Kansas City Chiefs to get another win here. Hopefully we have 2 undefeated teams in the Super Bowl this year, just so I don't have to hear my best friend Riley Carey keep on bringing up that 1972 Dolphins team. I will take the Kansas City Chiefs to pull off another win on Sunday and get a win in Foxborough and send the Patriots to 3-3 on the season. Now on to Monday Night Football, probably the biggest lopsided game of the weekend as CJ Beathard and his San Francisco 49ers head in to Lambeau Field and Green Bay to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Give me the Packers. This is probably the easiest pick of the weekend. No Jimmy G equals no victory for the Niners this week. I will take the home Pack to get a win here over the Niners on Sunday. And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Week in Sports right here on YouTube. I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Week in Sports. Always like, subscribe, comment, share, and I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Week in Sports right here on YouTube. See you later, guys.